Tonight on DTM News Live, major server issues, important construction projects, explosions rock the DTM server, safety concerns over new overhead line equipment, lightning strikes, and a change for the DownTheMineshaft FC. Good evening, the time is 7:40 PM. My name is Matt Pedalston and this is DTM News Live. The DTM server was rocked by a major server outage this week when residents connected and were greeted with empty inventories and reset statistics. Earlier, I had the opportunity to talk with the DTM Chief Technical Officer. Thanks for joining us, Mr. CTO. Can you explain what actually happened?
Absolutely. Users began reporting that they were logging in and finding their player statistics and inventories had been wiped. We swiftly conducted a full and thorough investigation and determined that one of the key storage volumes had exhausted its free space. Our engineers promptly rectified the issue and were able to restore all player data from a backup taken a couple of days previously.
Presumably that means inventories and statistics were reset to a couple of days previously.
Yes, that is the case. Unfortunately, the newer backup was found to be corrupted.
I think everyone is wondering whether this could happen again.
Of course, errors can happen. However, we have put in place new procedures to ensure that our engineers regularly monitor this specific circumstance and take regular action to ensure the volumes have sufficient storage. So I do not expect this to happen again.
Thank you for your time, Mr. CTO.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Today, the Meat Bay Department of Transportation announced the completion of its extensive construction project to Daintown is now open for public use as designated as Route 3. This connection can be reached via Exit 4, just west of the Meat Bay Bridge. The Meat Bay Department of Transportation said in a statement that future plans for the road will see it available to stretch to others in the nearby area and also continue north for new plots. In a press conference this week, DTM Railways and Meat Bay Transit Authority announced a new joint venture to construct a new station at the Half Point area, where the Birch Valley Line connects to Line 1. This new station has been named Half Point Station and will be accessible by Route 3. The earth literally moved for some DTM residents on Monday evening. Easily Confused returned to his role of Chief Explosives Operator in cooperation with Haddock 1000 to do some major rock removal at the request of Cubs 22. 6 stacks of TNT were loaded into 3 charges under a mountain with the intention of firing them sequentially in a controlled demolition of the mountain. We were there with our cameras to bring this to you. Sorry. As our eyewitness news report shows, the actual result was a little more dramatic than expected, with the first charge setting off the other 2 charges in one sustained chain reaction. The resulting hole in the mountain was certainly massive. The CEO was suitably impressed with his efforts, commenting, after the issues with Mole 2.0, "This is a great success and restores my reputation as a skilled explosives officer." Haddock 1000 was less enthusiastic, having narrowly been missed by a chunk of flying TNT that once again was propelled outside the blast zone, and a vast quantity of flying dirt went behind it. Several more charges were laid and detonated after the DTM news reporter wisely left the scene, and the mountain is now considerably smaller after over 500 blocks of TNT were expended on the demolition job. In an exclusive interview, DTM News Live asked Easily Confused about rumours that EC Demolition is developing a more powerful explosive than TNT. EC had this to say.
Some other news outlets have spread misinformation that I am developing some sort of technology that can flatten mountains in a single flash. That is totally untrue and an outrageous conspiracy theory. The yellow glow from my workshop is merely glowstone and sea lanterns, and nothing to do with any powerful explosive technology.
Another major engineering position took place at Nebworth on Sunday. The track between Nebworth and the 202 Lucas plot was extensively remodelled to allow late trains heading to the far village to bypass 202 Lucas, regardless of whether they are departing from Nebworth or using the underpass. Project manager Haddock 1000 allowed the former Chief Explosives Officer Easily Confused to have another attempt at railway construction on the strict understanding that no explosives were to be used anywhere in the worksite without full safety briefing and a risk assessment taking place. Work was completed on schedule and the lines reopened Sunday evening in preparation for the morning DTM commuter rush hour. As the electrification of the DTM network continues, a worrying trend has emerged of DTM residents climbing or playing on or near the overhead line equipment. DTM Rail President of Rail Operations Haddock 1000 noted, "This is a big concern because those lines carry 25 kV and that's going to be fatal if you come too close to the equipment without proper safety equipment." Other members of the DTM Rail Operations Group were more candid. Former CEO Easily Confused had a typically blunt engineering perspective on the problem, asking whether you wanted to be well done or extra crispy, and would you like fries with that. The message is serious, however, folks. Keep away from overhead line equipment and ensure you keep children and animals under control. Earlier this week saw a major fire at the DTM police station caused by a lightning strike. Fire Chief Haddock 1000 told us earlier that this was an unfortunate but very predictable consequence of the building being constructed of flammable materials which are vulnerable to lightning strikes. The lightning strike in question appears to have taken place around 3 p.m. local time. Rebuilding work was quickly undertaken to restore the iconic building in Spawn Village and ensure that any DTM residents who break the law can still be incarcerated. All DTM residents involved in building structures are reminded to consider the impact of weather on their constructions. In Cubsmouth, a new report will be opening soon, offering connections with Jägerdanske and Alex K98. Users of this airport should use the new Orange Line from Cub Central Station to the new Midway Airport. This week saw the completion of the North Airport runway, along with part of the airport terminal. The new airport now sees part of the Metro network reopen following a recent fire at the lodge-side cabins. On the evening of the completion, flight DTM 98 touched down on a flight from Hamburg Airport and officially opened the airport to arriving services. While the first plane has arrived, however, the far end of the terminal is still being constructed. It hasn't been all clear skies for the new North Airport construction project, however. The runway was built very close to the DownTheMineshaft FC stadium, resulting in a conflict between fans of the club and developers of the airport. Ultimately, the issue was resolved when the airport pledged to purchase a part of the stadium for a staggering 1 million diamonds. This results in the Beckham stand being shrunk by 50%, with a capacity reduction by 300. With the extra money, DownTheMineshaft SC were able to purchase renowned international player Darkness Monster for 500,000 diamonds and are looking forward to their best season in the league to date. That's all for DTM News Live. Thanks for watching. Next up... I'll get there in the end. Are we there? No, game's off now.